I've been wanting to film more YouTube, but it's something that's new for me, and there's just enough friction around it where I don't know necessarily what to talk about or how to film things, and that usually holds me back from doing it. Which is funny because I post a reel on Instagram every single day. I post stories all the time, and that's not a problem for me. I'm able to do it every single day. I've done it for the last 150 days, maybe more than that. I don't know exactly how many days, but I want to post more on YouTube, but there's something that holds me back from doing it. And so it's been a little bit. I wanted to hop on here and just talk, just riff, share some of the thoughts that I'm having because one, I think that it can benefit you, and two, and I think it'll be cool to look back at this in a couple years, couple months, and just reflect on where I'm at and how far I've come. So um, it's been really interesting, kind of this new path that I've been on with quitting my last career job, taking a little bit of time off, and then committing to building my personal brand, starting doing online fitness coaching, and just taking that as far as I can go. And when I initially got into this, I was very intimidated. Like, I didn't really want to post on social media that much. I was scared what people would think of me. I didn't want them to judge me. I thought I might lose friends or people would just make fun of me behind my back. And I just thought it was kind of cringy, honestly, just posting stuff and making it seem like I'm the center of attention by always, recording myself or taking pictures. And so those were kind of the thoughts that held me back from wanting to do what I'm doing now. And I ended up finding a mentor that could help guide me through this path and this journey and kind of give me some assistance. And I remember him giving me advice and telling me about how I had to post every single day, post a reel every single day, posting my stories, just sharing more about who I am and allowing you guys to be able to genuinely connect with me rather than being this Batman figure that never really posts anything. You just see me at the gym and you never know anything about my personality, the struggles that I've been through, the successes I've had, none of that. So rather than doing that, taking a very authentic approach where you guys feel like you genuinely know me. And if you met me in person on the street, it would be no different than what you've seen in the videos because you spent so much time with me. And I just remember being damn, I gotta post every single day a reel. I gotta make a reel every day. And on top of that, I have to talk to the camera and make stories. I'm dude, I don't know if I want to do that. But I'd already committed. I already said I was gonna do it. I already quit my job. I was already down this path. The boats were essentially burned. And so although I didn't want to do it, I'd already committed. So I knew I had to. And so I got on the path and I started doing it, and I started editing and posting all these reels, doing a reel a day, posting the stories, doing the carousel post once a week. And 3 weeks into it, I hit him up and I was yo, I've done 3 weeks of posts, every single day I've done reels, I've done stories, to give me all the feedback. I need to know what I can do better, what's happening. I'm hungry. I've posted so much. And he kind of just hit me and he's bro, there's 20 posts. You're committing to this. This is your new path. This is your new career. 20 posts is nothing. Come to me when you post 1,000 times. You don't have a big enough sample size yet. Yeah, sure, you can look at what you've done and what's worked well, what hasn't worked well, and you can refine that, but your sample size is so small. You have to commit to doing this for the long term. And it hit me, and I was kind of I knew what he was saying was true, but I didn't want it to be. I wanted kind of the easy way out. And from that point on, it just flipped a switch in me where I'm okay, I'm committed to this. This is not a 20-day challenge. This is just an everyday thing now. This is just part of my day-to-day. And so I was consistent. I haven't missed a day yet still. I don't know exactly. I'd have to ask Siri and see how many days it's been since I posted that first reel on my Instagram. But what's so interesting to see is the work, all of the work that I've done up until this point and everything that it's led me to, the people that I've met, the opportunities that have presented themselves, the way it's built my business, it's been incredible. And when I had first started this journey and like looking at what I had to do, I was like, dude, I have to post every single day. I have to make an edit. I have to go get content. Like I have to post stories all the time. Like this seems like a lot. And you tell me I have to do this like every single day. Like this is a lot. And to the average person, like it might sound like a lot, it might not sound like a lot. Try doing it every single day. It's harder than you think. I definitely have a lot more respect for like influencers and people that put out content every single day, because not only is it hard to be creative and like actually think of a way to film something, but also to be able to provide value is difficult as well. And to do that every single day is a challenge in and of itself. And so obviously some days are better than others. Some days I provide more value than others, but I try to always provide value to the people that follow me. But what's interesting is it seemed like so much when I first started out. And now that I've done it for the last 150 days and it's got me to where I'm at and it's presented the opportunities and the connections and everything, I look back and I'm like, wait, that's all I had to do? Like I only had to be committed, or like I only had to do 100 days essentially of all of this, and this is what it's led to? Like, dang. If I double down and I work even harder, twice as hard as the last like 100 days, what is that going to get me the next 100 days? Like how far will that get me? And I think it's a good lesson, like just for life in general, where when we have people tell us, or even if somebody doesn't tell us, like we just look at the journey ahead, it can be very daunting. Like even if you're just going on a hike and you see this giant mountain, you're like, dang, that's a huge mountain. I don't know how long this is going to take me. But all you can do is just focus on the next step. And you just start taking steps. And before you know it, you look back and you're like, dang, I've climbed a decent amount of vert. Like I can see a totally different horizon now that I'm this high up. This actually wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. And same thing goes for your fitness. Like at first when people start getting dialed in their fitness, they're like, wait, you're telling me I have to do these kind of workouts, I have to eat this, I can't eat that, I have to like supplement with this, like, oh, I feel like super overwhelmed. And then when they start doing it for a couple weeks, couple months, and they start seeing the results and they get into the routine and the habit, they're like, wait, this is all I had to do to get the dream physique that I wanted? Oh, this is great. Like, okay, well, what happens if I double down now on these things? Like, what am I going to look like then? The same thing applies. And so it's interesting how there's these like principles that are true in so many different facets that of life that we experience. And I just find it interesting because like, even though I just went through this experience, I know that I'm still going to have to go over this hurdle again in the future, probably in the same like category within my own business, but in other areas as well, where it's like, I'm going to be intimidated by the work. I'm going to think it's a lot. Then I'm going to actually do it and then realize it's actually not as bad as I thought it was. And so I think it's just good to have that perspective and realize that one, you're not actually that far off from achieving the dream that you want. And two, the work seems a lot more intimidating at first. Once you actually get in the thick of it, it's never as bad. It's usually just intimidating because it's new and you don't know how it works and you don't have any systems around it and it's unfamiliar. As soon as you start to become familiar with it, it becomes a lot easier. Right? Us as humans, like we're very smart. We're very good at pattern recognition. I was like, what just turned off? My screen's providing some light for us here. And we like to make things easier on our brain. So we're like, again, we're good at pattern recognition. We are good at making things that are hard easier. And so for me, it's just been a good reminder of like, anything that I'm doing that's hard is just because it's new, I'm unfamiliar with it. The more I do it, the better I'm going to get at it, the less intimidating it's going to get. And eventually I'll get to the point where I'm able to teach others. Like everybody that's successful at anything at one point was not good at that thing. Like everybody's a rookie at some point. And we sometimes forget that. We sometimes just like think that they got to where they're at and they've always been that good. Like you look at Steph Curry and you're just like, dude, this guy can shoot and drain a three with his eyes closed. And you don't realize that he's taken millions of shots, not during the game time, like in practice when nobody else is watching for decades. Like literally probably 2 decades, maybe more. he's just been shooting threes. And for like, he's missed a lot of shots. And I look at like just successful businessmen that like, they had no idea like what EBITDA was, or like how to perform like audits or projections or any of these things. Like, they had no idea how to actually do that. They were unfamiliar with it. It's probably intimidated them, but they were willing to learn. They were willing to, step into the ring and duke it out and get into the pocket and just exchange. And eventually, if you're in there long enough, you will learn. So yeah, it's been cool, and I'm happy. Like, I've been super blessed. Everything's gone very, very well. I think that also has to do with the work that I've put in and the consistency that I've had and the hunger that I've had. And on top of that too, like, same with me, like, there's a lot of years behind the scenes that have like helped me get to this point of everything that I've done leading up to this point that's made this new chapter a lot easier. And I don't think a lot of people see that sometimes and realize that. But it's been cool because like I've had friends recently that have like stepped into similar paths, and I've been able to help them and share with them the things that I've learned on this short journey that I've been a part of, as well as things that I've learned in my last journey that have helped me in this journey. So it's important to like surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, people that push you, people that want you to succeed. And then to also want that for other people. Like, you should hope that the people around you are also being successful, are also pushing themselves, because ultimately at the end of the day, like, a high tide raises all ships. The better everybody around you gets, the better everybody gets. So it's good to have that horizontal pressure. It's good to like also genuinely want the people around you to succeed. Because like, it's just, I don't know, it's important to have friends around you that are doing well. Like, it just makes everybody happier. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to like the upcoming months. It's kind of crazy that it's already been 2 months. February's over in a week. I'm filming this on February 24th, 2025. It's not a leap year, so there's only 28 days this February. Fun fact, my dad's birthday is on leap year, so he technically doesn't have a birthday this year, but obviously we're still going to be celebrating for him. We'll do it on the 28th. But yeah, I'm super, super happy that I made the jump, that I've learned the things that I've learned, and I'm just excited to like continue to learn new things. There's a lot of different routes that this journey is going to take me, and I know that it's not going to be me doing this forever, but I'm like super excited for what's to come in the future. So again, just wanted to hop on here and kind of share what's going on in my head and throw something out there. And I hope that some of you guys got some value from this. You appreciate it. You got to know a little bit more about me. Whatever the case may be, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.